If you think that sick time and vacation are a benefit, guess again. As a business owner, as long as you set up the right systems and procedures for your business to run without your direct involvement, you are free to take as much time and vacation and sick time off as you need. Okay? And best of all, you don't need anyone's permission to take that time off. Okay? You don't have to be sick to take a sick day when you work for yourself. If I want to go to the movies, I can go to the movies. If I, during the summer want to go play with my kids all day or hop in the car and head off on a family road trip out of the blue for 2 weeks, guess what? We can do that. We did that a couple summers ago. Went to Mount Rushmore, and from Mount Rushmore went all the way out to the coast. And we're on the road for 3 or 4 weeks, just on the spur of a moment kind of a trip. It's just absolutely fantastic, created some just wonderful, wonderful memories. But you can do that without asking for permission. And when it comes to your retirement planning, being your own boss has a lot of advantages too. You can contribute whatever you want up to the Big Brother imposed maximums to your retirement fund, or even better yet, you can build your business into an asset that you can then sell for millions of dollars when you're ready to retire. See, employees' incomes go down when they retire, but smart business owners, our incomes go up or often stay the same when they retire. So you are in control, and that is the ultimate benefit. Okay. In addition to security, control, freedom, the tax advantages, another massive benefit to self-employment, and I've talked about it a lot already, is lifestyle. I've talked about having the freedom to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it, with whoever you want to do it with, without having to ask for permission. And what that freedom does for you and your lifestyle is just incredible. But another lifestyle benefit you get if you structure your business properly with the right systems and procedures is the ability to not only work when you want, but to work where you want. Okay, and for me, that means doing most of my work right here at home. Actually, the commute that I have from my bedroom right here to this office is exactly 29 steps. I actually counted. It's 29 steps from my side of the bed right here to my desk. Okay, and on a very rare occasion, though, when I'm traveling, I actually have the misfortune of finding myself stuck in rush hour traffic, which usually only happens if I'm on my way to the airport to catch a morning flight to go to a speaking engagement or go work with a client. However, rather than getting frustrated or angry, as most people do when they get in rush hour traffic, I actually find myself expressing gratitude for the decisions I've made in my life and the blessings that I've received to allow me to avoid kind of that daily frustrating and just life-stealing ritual that so many people unfortunately have to go through twice a day. But a lot of times my feelings of gratitude, they're in sharp contrasts with the pity I feel when I look on the faces of the other drivers. I mean, the looks of just boredom and frustration and even despair on the vast majority of their faces. I mean, it really tells me that they would rather be anywhere else in the world than where they are at that moment. And I mean, that's just what a sad place to live, 2 times a day, every day, your whole life. Now, I know this is going to sound harsh, but at the end of the day, if you are an employee, you're simply a slave, okay? Even the word boss itself, it actually comes from the Dutch word baas, B-A-S-S, which means master, okay? So your boss is a master and you are the slave. And the only reason you have a job is because you are doing the crap work that your employer doesn't want to do himself. I mean, think about it. As I mentioned earlier, I look at my work as play. For me, it's fun, and it's fun because I've structured it that way intentionally. As a business owner, I have a rule that I follow. If it's not fun, I never do it more than once, okay? Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't get done. Somebody has to do it, but it sure as heck isn't going to be me, all right? The first time I do something, if I don't find it fun, what I do is I put in a system, a procedure, a checklist, or a person in place to handle that undesirable task in the future. And most smart business owners, they do the exact same thing. The boring, the unpleasant, the repetitive, or the just plain not fun stuff in any company or business gets handed off to an employee, okay? So as an employee, you also always get paid less than the value you provide to the company. Remember, I talked earlier about money comes from an exchange of value. But as an employee, you're always every time going to get paid less than the value you provide to the company. In fact, for your employer to actually make a profit, they have to pay you less than the services you provide are worth. Now, I know most employees could care less if their boss makes a profit or not, but if they want that job long term, they probably should care. But you not only do you just get paid a fraction of the value you generate, the rest of the value you generate goes to the owner and the shareholders. They get the rest, and they should, honestly. Now, if you actually got paid more than the value you contribute to your employer, it really is only a matter of time before you're going to lose your safe and secure job. You're going to lose it either because your employer figures out your dead weight, or you're going to lose it because kind of the cumulative financial blood loss to this mismanaged business you work for is going to kill it. Business cannot afford to pay the employees more than the employees are bringing in. Now, another way employees are basically slaves is that most employee mentality people, they live paycheck to paycheck. They allow their expenses to expand to match their income, regardless of how much they make. I know some employees that make $400,000 or $500,000 a year, and they're dead broke because they've got that employee mentality. They allow those expenses to expand, and they typically earn just enough to pay for food, clothing, shelter. It's usually their shelter that takes up the bulk of their money because they buy a bigger house than they can afford, and they usually even borrow more than that on top of it. So this means they spend all of their working time working to pay for food, shelter, clothing, taxes, and debt, and have nothing left over. Worse yet, they have somebody else telling them what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Some employees, they literally got to ask permission to go to the bathroom, okay? And if they don't jump when their boss says jump, or at least ask how high, massa, they get fired. Okay? Now, how is that different than a slave whose master provides food, shelter, and clothing, and then takes the food, shelter, and clothing away to punish the slave for not working hard enough? I mean, sure, your boss can't break out the whip and beat you with it nowadays, but he can cut off your financial air supply and threaten your ability to provide food and shelter for your kids. Now, personally, as a father, if I had the choice of my kids starving and being out on the street or taking a beating, I'd say bring on the whip. But fortunately, I've made decisions in my life that now give me the choices, the freedom and control to prevent ever being placed in that position. And that is the decision I'm encouraging you to make right now if you haven't already made that decision. Who do you want to be responsible for your life? To be responsible for your success and well-being? Do you want the government to be responsible? Do you want a boss to be responsible? Or do you want to be responsible yourself? That's really the question that it all boils down to. Now, if you're one of those rare individuals who actually enjoys your job, good for you. But I'd still suggest you try to figure out a way to get out of it and continue doing whatever it is you love to do. Just do it for yourself so you keep all of that extra profit and you get all these benefits we've been talking about in this video. But if you're an employee who doesn't enjoy your job, this video is concluded in part 6. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or visit crdoc.me/jobs to view the full video right now.